Hi everyone, Michael Cavacini here. I wanted to take this time to share with you my thoughts and my review of a movie I've only just gotten around to watching. That movie is from 1985 and it is Fright Night. So I'm a huge horror fan. I've seen many horror films. I subscribe to Shudder and just enjoy all sorts of horror. And then not just horror movies, but horror TV shows, books, comics, etc. I think it's just an interesting genre that unfortunately doesn't get the respect it deserves. And Fright Night is one of those classic 1980s horror films that I've been aware of, but just never took the time to watch, so I rectified that and watched it today. So this film was written and directed by Tom Holland in his directorial debut. So for those of you who don't know who Tom Holland is, he's got a heck of a career. He wrote the 1983 sequel to the classic Psycho. So he wrote the sequel to Psycho, which is pretty impressive. He also directed and co-wrote the first entry in the long-running Child Play franchise, so Chucky. Then he did Fright Night. He also directed the Stephen King adaptations of The Langoliers and Thinner. So he is really a skilled master when it comes to horror. And he's also written books, too. Actually, check out another video I put together about a book that Tom Holland just wrote called Fright Night Origins. It's the first book in a trilogy of books in the Fright Night universe, so check that out for more information. But anyway, Fright Night 1985. So what are my thoughts on it? This film is one of those relatively affordable films, I guess you could say, to make. Between, I think, 7 and 9.25 million was the budget, and at the box office made nearly 25 million. And I could see why. I think the movie's actually really, really good. It's got a great cast, and it's a vampire movie. So for those of you that don't even know what the heck Fright Night is about, it's a vampire movie where this kid is living in the suburbs, and he looks through the window, he sees someone next door, well, I don't want to spoil too much, but eventually he sees the neighbor with fangs and starts to try to convince everyone that he's a vampire living next door and that his coffin's in the basement and all this stuff. And people all think he's crazy and get the hell out of here. What are you talking about? And of course the movie unfolds, and it's just really well done to see how things play out, because it could have been really campy and corny, and there are certain elements of that, but it treats it with a certain level of seriousness, I think, that makes it much more enjoyable. And the practical effects, animatronics, special effects, just remarkable. I think that's something why people love 80s horror, especially over modern day horror so much, is because it heavily relied on these practical effects, not CGI and all that crap, which can look very dated in no time. So yeah, some of these deaths, some of these transformations, some of these, the climax of the film, I mean, just a lot of time and effort clearly went into making this movie, and it's just really remarkable because the final result is just visually striking. And probably my favorite actor in the whole thing is Roddy McDowall, because he plays Peter Vincent, who is this TV vampire slayer, and he's just wonderful in it. He actually, I don't know why, but when I'm looking at him, I'm reminded of Dennis DeYoung from Styx. Take a look at a picture of Dennis DeYoung and then take a look at Roddy McDowall, and you might see some sort of resemblance that I'm seeing. But he's wonderful because he's kind of this guy who just has to really step up and kind of live up to this image he's been portraying for so long. And yeah, he was just delightful. The rest of the cast is really good too. Have Chris Sarandon as Jerry, William Ragsdale, Amanda Bierce, Stephen Jeffries, Jonathan Stark, Dorothy Fielding, Art J. Evans, and Stuart Stern, among others. So it's got a really good cast. Everyone's great. There was no weak link in the bunch. maybe, you know, the main character's friend who's kind of goofy and over the top. Maybe he was kind of a bit of a weak link, but he's meant to be quirky and kind of goofy anyway. So yeah, it's a good movie. There's nothing much more to say than that. I think Fright Night is absolutely worth watching. I watched it on AMC Plus. I actually just signed up for a free trial of AMC Plus through Amazon to check it out because I don't want to buy the movie. I don't want to rent the movie, but I wanted to watch it. And I did a little free trial and watched it there. So, you know, I can include down below if you are interested in picking up a 4K copy of Fright Night. I'll include a link to that, so feel free to check that out. Or if you want to wind up renting it on Amazon or whatever, however you want to watch it, feel free to do so. And let me know, is Fright Night one of those movies that you've seen before? Do you love it? Do you not love it? What do you think of the modern day Fright Night with, when did that come out? That came out in 2011. They did like a remake, essentially. And who was in that? Colin Farrell was in that one. I've not watched that one, so I am interested in checking that out because Colin Farrell's an excellent actor. But yeah, you know, what are your thoughts on Fright Night, the movie? And also, there's a novelization of Fright Night by Encyclopocalypse Publications. So if you really love Fright Night, they have a novelization that's available as an ebook, print, audiobook. And the audiobook is narrated by Peter Atkins, who I interviewed in another video. And Peter Atkins is a writer who wrote Hellraiser 2, Hellraiser 3. He's worked on Nightbreed. He's done a lot of stuff with Clive Barker, and a really talented guy. So anyway, that is my thoughts on Fright Night from 1985. Feel free to comment down below with your thoughts. Make sure to like and subscribe and share this with your friends and family. And thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate your time. And I hope you have a great day. Thanks and take care.